Hi guys, here we are on this third hole at People's Golf Club today, and I'm going to do a little demonstration on the 3 different myths related to chipping and pitching if you want to sort of round it down to a hole. So here we've got quite a difficult shot, maybe a 20 to 30 yard pitch shot, and what I'm going to demonstrate is I'm going to demonstrate some of the misconceptions related to chipping and pitching. So first of all, we're going to work on a lot of the shorter pitches instead of the longer wedge shots. So one tip that I ask golfers, how do you think you get the ball up in there? And they say, how do you get the ball up in there to get it spin? What they do is they say, we need to hit down to get the ball up in there. So the ball does the work, the ball almost catapults right under the ground and spins the golf ball up in there. But what I want to try and get across is, people who adopt this method, it might be successful for them, but more often than not they're getting inconsistency, and they're struggling to get the distance correctly. So if this technique's adopted by you, it can be holding you back in a way. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but in my opinion it's one of the myths of the pitching. So what I mean by that is, we don't need to get the ball, we don't need to hit down to get the ball up. We have a thing called spin loft. Spin loft is the difference between the loft to impact, so the loft to impact, and the angle of attack. So the angle of attack and the amount of loft we have on impact. So that maximises our ability to create spin. So let's say there was a question like this I got asked, and it's saying, what happens if we steepen the angle of attack but reduce the loft the same amount? We have to increase spin, we have to maintain the angle of attack that we want, but we have to maintain the loft on the club face. So we steepen the angle of attack, we have to maintain the dynamic loft on the club face to actually increase spin. So if we steepen the angle of attack and we steepen the loft, so we reduce the loft, we're not going to increase spin, we're going to reduce the initial direction. So the spin won't be changed, it'll be the same as the angle of attack. So what we need, so pretend we're hitting 0 degrees down, so it's not the low ground or above ground, it's level with the ground. And we've got the actual dynamic loft on the golf club, which is facing to the sky, so it's 50 degrees. That will create pure backspin. So that will create pure backspin, so the dynamic loft and the angle of attack. So another example to use is, I'm hitting 5 degrees down the way and I've got 45 degrees of loft. So there's 50 degrees between the angle of attack and the loft, so the ball will spin the same, but because we've reduced the loft in it and we've sort of steepened the angle of attack, the initial direction will be a lot lower. The ball will still spin the same though, we're maintaining the loft on the golf club, remember. So to maintain the loft on the golf club, that produces the maximum amount of spin, and that will be the correct combination for you to introduce that into your game. So 5 degrees down the way and 45 degrees of loft on the golf club. The ball will change, the trajectory will change a little bit, that'll be a little bit lower. It might check up on its second bounce instead of this high floated trajectory where it stops at its first bounce. But anyway, all we've done with the angle, so the angle of, instead of tipped this way, we've tipped it that way, and we've steepened the angle of attack, so the handle is more ahead of the golf ball, and we've just encouraged us to hit slightly down the golf ball because we're hitting 5 degrees down, but the actual loft is maintained on the golf club. So a thing to remember is, if you think that that's the correct strategy behind chipping or pitching, it's up to you. But in my opinion, we need to make contact with the grooves for as long as possible. So if we start hitting down on the golf ball, we're reducing the loft, or reducing the surface area around the golf club. So we need to maintain the loft on it, the dynamic loft, and make sure our angle of attack and the loft impact is the same, or there's a big margin of gap of 50 degrees. So what that'll do, we need to remember, so we need to use the bounce on the club. We need to shallow it out slightly. So a good way to start that is using our body to turn. So as we turn through, the club's almost in a neutral position, and we come back through, the club's in a slightly neutral position again. So you need to understand spin loft, how spin loft works, and how that increases your chances of spinning the golf ball effectively. So I hit one shot, so spin loft, keep them and maintain the loft on the golf club. So as you can see, there was not much divot taken there. I don't need to take a divot to spin the ball. So that's myth number 1. If you've got any thoughts on the video, let me know. Subscribe to my channel at Jamie Allan Golf, and Twitter and Facebook at Jamie Allan Golf. Part 2 will be coming up next. That'll be myth number 2, and if you click on the link below, that should send you to that area. Thank you.